Hi guys, my name is Brittany and welcome to The Handmaid. I thought to start off this channel I should just do something pretty laid back and let you guys get to know me a little bit more, you know, before you decide if you want to go along for the journey. But yes, my name is Brittany and I actually currently work in a bookstore. Independent bookstore, by the way. Nothing corporate, no sort of chain. It's not Barnes and Nobles, which, I mean, I do have some issues with Barnes and Nobles, but we're not going to get into that right now. I don't really feel like hating on them, at least not in the moment. But yes, I work in a independent bookstore, and it is one of the most happiest places I can ever be in my entire life. And, you know, I just try to cherish every single moment that I have there. It's really a magical place. Not magical as in supernatural, but magical in that there will never ever be anything like it ever again. There will never be, you know, such a unique setting and atmosphere, and if that makes sense. It's one of those places that you walk in and you feel like you've stepped into another world that has always existed but somehow flew under the radar, if that makes sense. You know, it's mystical in how some place so special can come to be. It's beautiful. But you know, so yeah, I'm happy every day. They give me coffee, which I think was like hook, line, and sinker. Like, sign me up. I will work today. I will work 8, 10, 12 hours, however many you let me be here. And I was so happy when I found out that I was hired. I couldn't believe it. It was just mind-blowingly amazing. And, you know, you tend to fall in love with certain things, I think. One thing I've personally fallen in love with was just how good conversations are in a bookstore, because you know, one of my favorite sayings ever, and I usually hate quotations, but one of my favorite sayings is we are the books that we read and the ideas that we love, you know? So if I were to look at someone's library, or if I were to look at someone's list of books that they've read, you know, in the past year or all their life, or, you know, and, you know, because you can see little trends of, okay, is this person buying the usual, like, New York Times bestsellers, you know, just what's current, what's modern? Are they sticking to only classics? Or are they doing something very specialized? Do they only buy poetry? Do they only buy history books? You know? And in my store, we definitely have those types of people that tend to only browse certain sections. Like, we have a few gentlemen that are interested in only military history. We have a few gentlemen and ladies that are only interested in theology, because we tend to have a very large stock of theology, which I think is pretty cool. Especially for any indie bookstore to specialize and to have the space and the customer base that they can do that, if that makes sense. You know, to where it's definitely getting away from the usual kind of commercialized experience you get when you go into like a Barnes and Noble, where they're all I mean, not all of them are paperbacks, but it's a lot of paperbacks, it's a lot of mass production, which, you know, we do get those copies as well, but more often in my store that I work at, we tend to get the, you know, very interesting bindings, the very, like, unique and very cute, or just very interesting covers. You know, we really get books from all over, which I love. And just the quality of conversations. You know, sometimes I strike up a conversation when I'm bringing someone up and I go, oh, I see you got this, the Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. Are you a fan of Russian literature? Sometimes it's like, oh, I just wanted to try it, and which I'm totally all for, because I do that too. But sometimes those little sparks, and those conversation starters can spark, it can spark something that if you didn't take that opportunity to talk to someone, or, then you may have never made that connection, if that makes sense. So, like, one thing that I love to do in my bookstore is to try to talk to everybody and to make sure that everyone's having a good experience, and also to show that, hey, I like books too, or hey, I read that too. I don't know if you know anyone else that is also interested in this, but I'm here if you want to talk about it, if you want to gab. And, I just try to be very personable and very, just very inviting, because I know what it's like to read a book all the way through, or read and like stop and read and stop and read and stop because you're so affected by what's going on in the story, and all you want to do is talk to someone. All you want to do is tell someone how much this book is like ripping your heart to shreds. And if there's no one there, if you don't know anyone else who's even, let alone reading, but second of all, actually into that specific author or book, you just feel isolated. You feel like, oh man, well, I guess I just have to go through this alone. So that's why when, working in a bookstore and knowing what it's like to be on the other side, I try to make sure that, I can be a person that, if you want to talk about something, I am here. I'm here to help you find your book, find what you're looking for, and also just, I'm there for you to, not be a friend, but I'm here, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. I apologize. It's just my rambles. But, yeah, I love my bookstore. And I love how much diversity there is of literature. We have such different subjects and so much stock of those different subjects. We don't really, we try to carry as much as we can of, as many genres as we can. I've heard of people coming into our store and going, oh my god, your poetry section is so huge. It's the largest I've ever seen. Because what people tend to do sometimes is what doesn't sell, or often, or, what doesn't, flip, what you can't flip the fastest, I would say, they tend not to keep that in stock. So if they go, oh, well, poetry doesn't sell that often, so we're just not going to keep a lot of it. Which I personally don't like, because, I understand from the business perspective. However, from a consumer perspective, that's like saying, okay, so is the work not good? Because it absolutely is, Or let's say if I like poetry and it's like, okay, I get that there's may not be a lot of people, but hey, I still exist. I'm still a customer who likes poetry, and I would like to have variety, So I really, really like the ethics and the integrity of the store that I work in. And also just working in a bookstore, not just browsing, but even but more so working in a bookstore, your mind is broadened, if that makes sense. You get to just see so many books and so much different genres and ideas and content that, you know, things tend to strike your fancy that you never would have chosen yourself, you know, but after days and hours and however much time of, you know, having books in your hands, of shelving, of moving books from one place to another, of, you know, selling, buying, trading books, you know, there are certain ones that you go, huh, this looks really interesting, actually. You know, quantum physics book for dummies. I don't know. But yeah, I think you know what I mean. But yeah, that's working in a bookstore for you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will forgive me for my rambling. But yeah, my name is Brittany. This is The Handmaid. Stay tuned for my channel. I will be teaching you guys how to make stuff, because I am also a studio art major, you know, at a school here in California. So, you know, that will also be coming to you soon. Also, you know, another video going over my experience as a basically art major at a public university. So, yeah, stay tuned, and I will see you guys later. Bye.